Hey everyone! Well, we're here. We're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and the MLM we'll be talking about today is Arbonne. Today's video is an opportunity slash discovery call, whatever they want to call it. I feel like I've been doing a lot of opportunity call videos lately, but I find those so interesting because it's kind of like a team call mixed with wanting, well, not mixed with, it is what it is. It's getting a bunch of people on this call to just hear about the MLM, and it's always really interesting to hear how they portray the MLM before anybody is actually in it, and they sometimes make it seem just so easy, and then you actually get into the MLM and they're like, it's a lot of hard work, I don't know why you expected otherwise. So we hear it a lot in these opportunity calls of what a wonderful, amazing, perfect job this is, and you're so lucky that somebody invited you here. We keep hearing about these things. They keep happening because there's opportunity calls still going on, team calls still going on, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, MLMs are still happening. They're just still out here trying to recruit people. Notice how I said recruit people and not sell to people. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really like it, please subscribe. Make sure to check out my description for all my fun links. And with all of that said, let's get started.
All right, so here we are. I am so excited to be here tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is I'm an independent consultant and I'm an executive national vice president with this incredible company we call Arbonne. And I just really want to be so excited for all of you guys that are joining in right this minute, because I'll tell you one thing. It is one thing to say, to come on here and to take a look, because not being curious can cost a whole lot of money or a whole lot of life and a whole lot of joy in a lifetime. And I'm so excited to be here, especially presenting with the very first time as a Discover Arbonne in a business opportunity meeting, because this business opportunity has absolutely transformed my life. Now, I will put that disclaimer out there that me and stories are not necessarily typical in this journey, but what I will tell you is that it is absolutely possible, and to go see earnings.arbonne.com as you listen in to our stories tonight.
Okay, so let's pull up the Arbonne income disclosure statement. I mean, we gotta do it. So she says she is a national vice president, so she is in the top 1% of the company, making an average of, or we'll just say a median, let's go with the median, a median of $175,000 a year, which is great. But then you look at what 56% of the company is making, and it is $108 a year, which is not great. And then you go to 33% of the company making, we'll just round up, $1,800 a year. Again, not great. Even 8% of the company making $12,000 a year, that is, what, $1,000 a month? That's really not that great. And so then we go to 2%, 1%, which is arguably the livable income status. So you need to be in 2% of the company to be making real money, to be able to live off of this business. And something that so many of them will say is, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this, and anyone can reach, whatever success numbers they want. But yet they also will turn around and or say in the same breath, but my results are not typical. So which is it? Is it that you are not typical, or that anyone can do it? I was thinking about this the other day. They say anyone can do it, yet not everybody's experience who is at the top is typical. So then not everyone can do it like they claim. But of course they'll just blame the individual. Well, they didn't work hard enough. They didn't do this, or this. No, because it's not built for everyone to make it to the top. The pyramid starts to get a little bit smaller and smaller, meaning that there's not room for people at the top. It's not possible for everyone to make a livable income in MLMs, because that's just not how the structure is built. It's built for majority to fail, while a minority make millions, hundreds, whatever the case may be, anything, any money. Most people lose money in MLMs. So you cannot say my results are not typical, but yet anyone can do this. Right?
And so It's Sunday. I love Sundays. I love the community. I love everything that Arbonne has brought into my world. And it has definitely not always been this way. And so I'll tell you that the very first time that I was ever introduced to Arbonne, I was like so insulted. I was so insulted that somebody thought that I could be good at this, because my perception of what Arbonne could be was totally different than what I actually live on a day-to-day basis as an independent consultant. I had a perception that the person who was approaching me literally wanted me to house inventory up to my ears in my one bedroom apartment. I was 24 years old.
I'd be more offended if somebody invited me, because I'd be like, you want me to join so you can profit off of me, because you need me underneath you. You need to grow your downline in order for you to succeed, for you to make money. That's where I would be offended. But I guess she's offended because she thought that people just wanted her to have a bunch of inventory, which can also be a possibility. I feel like they all argue the inventory aspect of MLMs, which I can understand that, because there are some MLMs, more the jewelry, clothing ones, where you have to have a lot of inventory, but ones that are more health and wellness based, I can see why you wouldn't want to have a bunch of inventory, because that stuff expires. So I can understand that, but you also should have product in your house so that you can give as samples to people and you can show them physically what the item is. At least that's what I would think. And people who have real small businesses, they have the product, they're able to physically show people the product. So I don't know. Again, people's perception of what people's perception of MLMs is, I guess, varies always. I personally would just be like, I don't want to join because I don't want to do sales. I wouldn't be like, you want me to house a bunch of inventory? That's so rude. Like, I wouldn't think that way, but I guess she did. Maybe her perception, again, was having, a whole warehouse full of items, because that's a possibility with some MLMs for sure. We have seen that. But I don't know. That would not be my first go-to.
Was first approached by this business. And to give you a little bit of perspective onto where I was, I definitely did not want to be selling products. Okay. That was the last thing that I had on my mind. I definitely didn't want to be a product lady or any of those types of things, because I remembered my mom shopping when I was younger at like a direct selling company. And I remember going to the lady's house and her house was full of inventory. And I thought, oh my God, I don't want to be like that. So I will reassure you right now that that is not the kind of opportunity that you're taking a look at tonight. You're taking a look at an opportunity that is based in two of the fastest growing industries, which is online.
It's funny how it's like, that's a different opportunity than this opportunity. Why? Why is it different? How is it different? Don't they all say basically the same thing? Is that they're giving it an opportunity? To me, is something that is, I mean, I guess it can come in many different forms, but it should be like the way that every single person, at least the way it comes off to me, in an MLM describes it, is that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity and you cannot pass this up because this will change your life. But when they're all saying that, then where an opportunity means nothing at that point.
Businesses and health and wellness industry. Okay. That's really what we're taking a look at. And I'll tell you that every single day, despite what my first impression was when I was first approached by this business, I can tell you that every single day I wake up with so much gratitude in my heart that my sponsor was pleasantly persistent in me taking a look at this business. And maybe that's the case for the person who invited you here tonight. Maybe you're like, it's not for me. Awesome. Maybe you're looking for an extra. Awesome. And so I come from a very, very working class family. I come from a very small town with 40,000 people. I've always had that kind of work ethic instilled in me. And I left that small town to work and to pursue my dream of working in the fashion industry at the age of 20 years old. I left home. And so when Arbonne came into my world and was presented to me, I thought, oh gosh, I don't really want to do that. But what most people didn't know is that even though I was starting that career within the fashion industry, I was up to my neck in not only having to support myself financially on my own now in my early 20s, but I also didn't feel like there was that much of exciting things happening. So I did go to the meeting to say thanks, but no thanks, and maybe to the possibility of making a little bit extra money. And when I walked into that meeting, I literally had goosebumps all over me feeling the energy. I had never felt energy like I felt in that specific room. I was presented the business opportunity in a hotel by the incredible executive national vice president, Milva Kennedy. And as I walked out of there, I was just filled with so much hope. And
that's kind of the point. That's kind of what they do. They want you to feel like this is the best thing that could ever happen to you in your entire life. Like, this is what you need. We have the answer that you have been searching for. You haven't been searching for something? Well, guess what? You probably have, and this is the answer.
I really believe that, we're either surviving or we're creating. And this is one of the main things that I love about having said yes to this business. Even though I didn't necessarily have a huge vision as to what my life could become at the time, Arbonne has absolutely transformed every sphere of my life. At the time when I was introduced to this business and I said yes for a little bit of extra money on a month-to-month basis to be earning a little bit extra, I literally was overweight. I was not all that joyful. I didn't necessarily have that much hope in what my future could really be because I always had somebody else stamping me on on my annual report saying what my value was. And as I walked out of that meeting, I started to see, wow, like this business could really transform so many different spheres in my life. And
they answered something for her. They gave her a purpose. And it's always, there is some sort of story where your life is not going exactly where you want it to be, or you're not quite sure, or something. And an MLM jumps in at the right opportunity. It just happened to be Arbonne. It probably could have been anything else. It doesn't matter what it is. It could have just jumped in at the right moment and caught her at the right moment. I mean, hey, I guess she's top 1% of the company. But again, it's like, yes, she's making money, but she's making money off of so many below her failing. So really,
willing to work my way up because this is an effort-based business. If I was willing to really be coachable, that I was willing to put in the work to dedicate myself with consistency over time, I could create something that I really wished for. And so funny enough, all the things that I would have ever dreamed in my wildest dreams to have is to be my own boss, to have the flexibility of time, to really be able to be that mom that's not president. I am a president with Arbonne, but to be present with my kids. I literally have been able to create that with this incredible opportunity. I love the fact, and I wouldn't trade my lifestyle for anything in the world. I love the fact that I get to decide how my day is going to look. I love the fact that I get to show other people how to build this kind of life with such little bit of an investment. So to start an Arbonne business, it's literally $59.
Yes, it is $50 or $59 depending, $59 or $49 depending. Sometimes I think they have sales. But Arbonne's biggest seller is the 30 Days to Healthy Living, which is an almost $500 product pack. And it doesn't even come with that much, but they want you to experience the 30 Days of Healthy Living so you can sell that to potential customers and turn them into recruits. So it's not just $50. It's not just $60. It's so much more than that because you have to buy the products in order to show people that you're using them, be a product of the product. So it's not just that. You do have to buy more into the company in order to be successful. Maybe, possibly, but like you can't really sell a product if you've never tried it yourself. I mean, I guess you can, but you wouldn't, why would you do that? It'd be like, well, it's your business. You should really try the products. You should try this. And you get a discount anyway, so why wouldn't you? And it's like, they act like the starter kit is it. That's the only investment you have to make. And maybe sometimes, but no, because you have to try the products. You have to show them in Instagram pictures, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. You need to have the products in order to sell the products. Like if someone has a question about a product, yeah, you could ask somebody else, but like you yourself would want to more than likely answer the question for your potential customer. And if you have the product and you're able to read it or you've experienced it yourself, that's a lot easier to answer questions about. So yes, it may be a starter cost of $50, $60, but you're going to put in a lot more investment over time for sure.
Canadian, $49 US to start an Arbonne business. We get to purchase a business within a business that literally takes care of everything. Okay. They take care of an online website. I have so many friends that are entrepreneurs that are like breaking their necks trying to create a website. I love Arbonne's website, arbonne.com. I love the fact that.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Like, creating a website is definitely difficult, but there are a lot of website builders out there that will create many templates for you that make it a lot easier. And, even if you're just doing it from scratch, you're the one that does it. You're the one that's putting in that work and the creativity and all of it. And they always say, like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this in Arbonne. You don't have to do this and this in MLM. You don't have to do this. Yes, I know. You're taking away all the creative aspect. The only thing I'm doing is being a salesperson and consistently buying products from the company and being the customer for the MLM. So I get that they take certain aspects and they think that that's a positive thing, and maybe for a lot of people it is, oh, like, good, I don't have to build a website. But it's like, when it comes down to it, there are so many websites out there that make it easy for you, and it's yours. It's actually yours. It's not just some arbonne.com / whatever username or whatever code, and then that's how it is. Like, it's not yours. But if you said, my website is leafyonIsthebest.com, that's yours. You own that. Like, and you can tell people that. No, like, go to arbonne.com / 244567891. Like, that's not yours. I mean, yes, that is your unique code, but it's not yours. It's just that everyone in Arbonne, all of the Arbonne pages, they look exactly the same. None of them are unique. But if you had your own website, or even if you have your own, third party where you sell something and they're your own products, they're something that you put up yourself, like, that still makes it unique to you. But when it comes to an MLM, every single website page looks exactly the same. They sell all the same products. Nothing is unique to you. So again, they take away the creativity and just make you a salesperson, which, I don't know. It's not your own business if you don't get to have some creative say somewhere. And I guess you can when it comes to maybe like graphics that you put on Instagram or Facebook. But even then, we have seen team meetings, they say, don't do that because that's just taking away valuable time that you could be talking to people. They take away everything. Everything creative that could be yours, no. You should just be talking to people, which they even then give you copy and paste messages to send to people. Yes, you can send your own, but they're like, well, the reason why you didn't get that recruit is because of what you said. It's like, I can't do anything. Everything is just, you are an MLM robot for that company, and you just need to follow every single solitary step that they tell you to take. You better take that, because that's how you make money. But then even if you follow that, you still don't make money. There is literally no winning. There's just none.
Arbonne goes out of their way to create the most incredible botanical products. This is not a brand new business. This is what we just celebrated 41 years a couple days ago in business. So I remember my friend saying, don't do that thing. Don't do that thing. And now I look back and I think, thank God I didn't listen to the people who didn't know what they were talking about, because that thing was something that was already anchored with culture, already anchored with transparency. And you'll see that we always bring you back to this disclaimer of what the opportunity truly is like at earnings.arbonne.com.
Yes, where 1% of the company, 2% of the company make a living wage. Why would you want to join a company where you get in and you look and you're like, nobody makes money? They want you to be blinded by the numbers, by the potential of those numbers at the top, and not look at the percentage of it. There is a reason that percentage is there. There's a reason that percentage exists, because it's real. Most people don't make money in MLMs via the FTC, via a lot of things. Like, it is out there. And even the companies themselves put out these income disclosure statements, and you look, you're like, nobody's making money. But yet they keep pointing to it, and they're like, look at the potential of those numbers. Don't those numbers look great? Yes, the money aspect of what could be, some magical day could be, looks good. But when you look at the percentage of people who are actually making that money, that doesn't look good. But that's the realistic part of it. The money over here, that's not realistic. The percentage over here, that's realistic. Well, the money's also realistic, but the percentage is also realistic. But you gotta, I think you get what I mean. But you gotta put those two together. Most people in MLMs don't make money, but yet they point you to the income disclosure statement. They want you to, and they want to blind you by the potential of the higher numbers. They don't want you to look at the percentage, and they just say, oh, well, those people just didn't work hard. How do you know? You cannot make an assumption that every single person who is in the 55%, 65%, whatever it may be, just didn't try. You don't know. You don't know. Can't make that assumption.
Arbonne's on a mission to not only be the #1 company in the world, but the #1 company for the world, with the most transparency when it comes to the ingredient policy and the most transparency when it comes to our business opportunity. So I have literally goosebumps thinking about what the next 5 to 10 years will be like in Arbonne. And I just took the road less traveled. I plugged into everything I could possibly get my hands on. And that's why it's so special to be sharing with you tonight, because when I first got started, was like in another realm of my life. Like, we were living totally different lives. I was brand new in this business. I was definitely not feeling as joyful, as hopeful, or as prosperous as I am today. And I started plugging into the most successful people in this industry, in this business. And I fell onto SoundCloud. I fell onto YouTube's. I started listening. I probably listened to thousands and thousands of trainings from other successful people. And that's why it brings me goosebumps to think that if you're inspired tonight by anything that I say, or that anything that this amazing woman will say tonight, you can do it too. Because one thing that I've learned over the last 9 years of saying yes to this business is that if you can get the goosebumps to think that my life could be transformed by this, oh my God, maybe this might be the answer, is that you can do it too.
They just want you to have that feeling. They just want you to have that feeling in this specific MLM. Guess what? If you were to go to another opportunity call in a different MLM, you may hear the same motivational speech. Very, very, very similar. So it doesn't matter if it's Arbonne or whatever other MLM. They want you to have the airy, light, wonderful feeling that they're bringing here. They're all motivational speakers trying to get you to join so that their downline continues to grow. That's really what this is. They just want you to sign up so that they get more money. It benefits them. It doesn't benefit you for signing up. You are going in losing money when you pay for the starter kit. They're making money off of people getting starter kits. So of course they're getting excited about seeing a bunch of people in this call and the potential of how much money their next commission check is going to be. They're excited about that. And then they're hoping that you stay in for this light, airy, wonderful, I can be the top 1%. That sounds great. I can make that in 2 months. No, you have to make it in 7 years. Stay in the business for 7 years and you maybe, potentially could see some money one time.
And I keep reminding myself that on a day-to-day basis is if I can be inspired, if I can be inspiring somebody else, it means that they have the ability to inspire somebody else. And the only reason I'm saying that to you today is because somebody else breathed life into me a couple years ago. And I have so much gratitude for this business opportunity that just keeps on giving. And so on that note, I'm going to pass it off to the beautiful, who is now a partner, a beautiful mentor of mine, and definitely always somebody that I aspire to be more and more like on a day-to-day basis. So on that note, I love you. Thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Okay, you could hear me, right? Thank you. You make me want to be better, and you're raising the bar every single day. And your energy is absolutely infectious. So, and I'm sure every single person on this call tonight can agree to that. So good evening.
I do think that she is a very good speaker and that she genuinely puts out positivity, and I think she'd be really good in something other than an MLM. And I say this, I try and say it as much as I can, is anyone who is in these MLMs who are doing well, or who just I put a spotlight on, which I'm not putting a spotlight on the person themselves, they're just an example. Again, we've seen many people through Arbonne, and I talk about Arbonne itself as a business, and compare and contrast it to different MLMs, and compare and contrast it to what other people in the business are saying, which is usually about the same thing. But it's like a lot of these people could be so good at not an MLM, at doing something else that's not being in an MLM.
Good evening, everyone. My name is I'm an independent consultant and I'm an executive national vice president with Arbonne. And I am so excited to share an opportunity with you that's not only changed my life, but the lives of so many people from all different walks of life. And so here's one of the greatest things I love about
Do they just have a template? Like every single person who does these opportunity calls or team calls, like, do they just have like a checklist that they have to hit and they have to say the word opportunity and changing lives like a certain amount of times before they end the call? Otherwise, it's not a real call.
So you might be listening tonight, like, well, who will I speak to? Who will do this? Who won't do this? Who will join me? You guys, I had a dream inside of my heart. And so I knew that that dream for a different life, I had a good life before Arbonne, but I realized and I saw that I could have a great life if just like that I worked hard and I built this business because it's effort-based business. And this is something you should know off the bat. My results aren't typical. They are an average. And I should be a disclaimer in Arbonne. But here's what you need to know, because it's a brand. It's what I stand for. I will forever be a stand for what's possible. And I want to just, this is not Arbonne saying this is me breathing into your soul. You have so much possibility and you're capable of so much.
I completely agree with that part. Anyone is capable of anything. Just don't join MLM. You want to do something for yourself, go out and do it. Now, to say my results are not typical, but I want to be a stand for what is possible. So it either is or it isn't. It's like what I said at the beginning. Like, it either is not typical, because there's a lot of reasons why it's not typical, or everyone can do it. You can't have it both ways. It's either that everybody can do it, or it's only for a minority, which is how the MLM business structure is built, is for a very low percent who are near the top.
And so, I too, when I first heard this, like, who would join me? And so she wasn't on my radar. She wasn't in my network. So many times we think it's exactly who we know. Well, of course, that's how this business works. The first thing we say is share it with your friends, share it with your family. It's like, when you launch an Arbonne business, this is a virtual business, but I want you to visualize having like a ribbon cutting ceremony, like they do if somebody actually opened a store, and you're going to share, I have people say, not for me. You're coming to my grand opening. It's for me. And even if it's not for you, I'm going to the top and you're going to cheer me all the way to the top. And so somebody on my invite list didn't know who she was. But here's what I want to let you know. You don't need a network to be successful in Arbonne. You need a vision to be successful in Arbonne. Because when your vision is big enough, when your vision is clear enough, when your why is big enough, I'm a huge believer that the universe has your back, and you meet people. When you open yourself up to possibilities, when you go out every day and think, gosh, whose life can I change? Whose life can I empower? Who can I share Arbonne with? It might be for them, it might not be for them. It might be the community. It might be the products. It might be the opportunity. How can I serve? And when we go out every day with that servant heart, that's when you're just connected. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And that's another reason. Obviously, we're connected through network marketing. We're connected because somebody knows somebody knows somebody. And there's amazing leaders in
somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. That is true. And sometimes people in MLMs will put people that they know under other people's downlines. And, you think, oh, that's, not saying you guys, but like people think like, that's so sweet. They're, really caring about me and they're trying to build me up and they're trying to build up my downline to see me succeed. Yes, but it also benefits your upline. They're doing that for a reason. It's like a game of chess. They're doing it for a purpose. Yes, it does benefit you, but it really, really benefits them. So it may come off as this sweet, like they really care about you thing, but it's mainly benefiting them in the end.
That's, when she said she went to a presentation and heard the amazing Milva Kennedy is direct to me. So that's how, it's all connected. But your vibe attracts your tribe. So our vibes were just like connected before we even met. So I want to share a little bit about my story and how I got involved with Arbonne. It's one of my,
Wouldn't have it any other way to hear people's stories.
I love to hear people's stories in anything. Like I love, that's how you get to know people.
I mean, I like hearing people's stories too. I have no issue with that, but it's like when the time is right, when the time is called for, when I ask, not when it is used as a way to, not when it's used as a way to be relatable, or that my life is so difficult and it was so busy and I still fit this into my life. So really it gives you no excuse to say no to this business, because there's no way your life can be as busy as mine. Did you hear my story? Oh, you did? Yep, nope, it can't be busier than mine. I fit Arbonne in, so you have no excuse. It's just a way to come off as relatable, and maybe it connects with somebody whose story is similar, or maybe somebody is on and is like, I don't think I could do this, and then you hear their story and you're like, well, I don't have as much, or maybe I have more time than that person does, and they made it work with no time, so I should be able to make it work since I have more time. Something like that.
I want you to know how and why I got here. And so I was introduced to Arbonne 14 and a half years ago. I wasn't looking for Arbonne, but I was. I didn't know anything about Arbonne, but I was a stay-at-home mom for 5 years, and I love now of course everybody's gonna say, I love my children. I love my kids so much, and they're my why. Before I had children, I was one of those women that said, I'm never going to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to be a stay-at-home. Like, first of all, who am I to judge? I didn't have a baby, right? I was into climbing the corporate ladder. I was hungry. I was like, I was in that professional mode. And I felt that way until I had a baby. Oh my gosh. And then I held my baby girl in my arms and I thought, what was I thinking? I didn't set myself up with any choices. A lot of households today run on 2 incomes. Mine did as well. And so there wasn't the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm so grateful that I built something in addition to my full-time job that I thought I would never, ever leave. I didn't understand the power of building something or what a side hustle could do. So I went back to work, and I loved my job, but not more than I loved my baby. And so most people just don't have that choice. And I didn't at the time. And I knew there's got to be something. I was introduced to Arbonne. I'm at this backyard barbecue. My initial reaction, just like was, does this woman, like, I mean, she has a cute business, but the way she's going, I think she thinks I want to do this business. You guys, first of all, I live in New Jersey, but I'm a New Yorker. You could take the girl out of New York. You can't take the New York out of the girl. And so I was actually thinking if she could get out of my personal space, that would be awesome, because I'm above this. Now, where did I come off, you guys? I was out of corporate America. I was praying to God for something to come into my life. On paper, could afford walking away, but I think we know it's all the other expenses in our household that aren't on paper. So, we pretty much ran out of money before the month was over. And to make up for some of the income that I walked away from, I was watching 7 children under the age of 5 in my home. 7 children. So I'm basically a professional butt wiper at this point in my life. And I was like, how dare her share these products and this business with me? I'm not going to do this. And I was wearing overalls and Keds at the time. Okay. But as she began to speak, and this is advice I give to any consultant, and maybe you're a guest on here and you think I'm on here because a consultant just won't stop inviting me, right? Or maybe I just want to shut my friend up, or like, I really don't understand. I told this woman, thank you so much, but absolutely not. And she continued to speak. I couldn't shut her up. I couldn't duct tape. Like she was speaking. And the more she spoke, the more I began to see what could be a new possibility for me and my family. She wasn't just giving me information. She was inspiring me to become more. I don't remember what she said, but I absolutely.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was 14 years ago, but it's like, it was the most inspiring thing. It changed my life. Don't remember what it was.
Absolutely remember the way I felt. It was a monumental time in my life. And I thank God that that she did not respond with her ego and say, well, I did ask somebody. I'm glad she wasn't looking for the credit of an ask. Does that make sense? Sometimes like, oh yeah, we asked 5 people to join Arbonne. Did you really ask 5 people to join Arbonne? with your heart and your soul.
So yeah, it'd be salesy and pushy. That's the whole thing that people don't like. Is maybe it worked on you is that she just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And of course, if you are physically there in front of somebody, maybe it is easier. I don't know. But like in today's day and age, you gotta ask via DMs, and people can just ignore you. I mean, people can just walk away in person, but it's so much easier to ignore. And to say that, like, yes, you asked, but you didn't ask the right way, or you didn't push hard enough. How do you know? How do you know what someone is doing? And it's like, always go for the no, but it's like, well, you didn't ask the right way. You didn't push hard enough. You didn't put your all into that ask. And it's like, you don't know that. You don't know. And a lot of people have a hard time branching out and asking strangers to spend $50, $500 on a product. And again, you do have to be a good salesperson in order to get people to A, listen, and B, fall for the scam. But, clearly whoever got her was really good at sales, was really good at speaking. Most people are not good at that, and it's not possible for them. It's not every person can be a salesperson. I would be awful at this. We've talked about it. A lot of you say, like, I'd be absolutely terrible at this. I could not do this. So it's not for everyone because it is a sales job. And you can be so passionate about something and suck at selling it.
With putting your vulnerability out there. So if somebody did that for you, please know they see something incredible in you.
They just want you to be a recruit underneath them. They just want to grow their downline. They want money.
And they wanted you to really hear this. So, as you listen to, so long story short, I heard the information. I went home the next morning and I jumped in and I started Arbonne. And it was the best business decision that I ever made in my life.
Wow, never heard that anywhere before, ever.
I cannot look at you and say it was easy. I cannot look at you and not, you guys, I have learned so much in 14 and a half years. This business has transformed me. It's more than a business. I didn't know I was saying yes to a personal growth company disguised as skincare and nutrition. But as you listen to the information I'm going to share with you over the next few minutes, I encourage you to go to earnings.arbonne.com to see the averages and to also see the potential. So what is Arbonne and who are we? We are a health and wellness company with over 4 decades of history. Our brand philosophy embraces the connection between a healthier mind, a stronger body, and more beautiful skin. We have a competitive earning plan, and we have a committed home office team who handles everything, just like I said, from marketing to customer service to deliveries. And we love our website. We love when you become an independent consultant, you get right then and there a website. Like, I don't think we even understand how powerful that is. Our vision. I love Arbonne's vision. And let me tell you where that vision started. It started with our founder, Peter Mork. He was a visionary. And in his words, when I dreamt of Arbonne, I wanted it to be a place where people could flourish. In Arbonne, we are entrepreneurs who are passionate. If you couldn't tell that, with the two of us, right? Who are passionate about healthy living. Our business is about empowering people and helping them flourish from the inside out by being good to themselves, the community, and the planet. We just celebrated our 1 year as a B Corp. We are a certified B Corp, which means we are held to higher standards. This certification means we value people and the planet, not just profit. We're committed to sustainability measure by
I hear that a lot in Arbonne's. We're committed to people and the planet, not profit. If that was the case, if you were committed to people, then when people signed up, you would give them some sort of a base rate. You would give them money. You wouldn't ask them to buy into the company. You would pay your employees a decent wage if you care about people and not profit.
There are people in this world depending on our extra. And by building an Arbonne business, you can put yourself in a position to make a difference in the lives of people. We are a community. We are difference makers. Arbonne also has a charitable foundation, and our dream is for Arbonne to be the #1 company that gives back. I am inviting you to make healthy living your business. Make a decision to join us so you can have more, be more, do more, and give more. Instead of asking yourself, does this work? How about asking yourself this? What if she's right? What if I commit to the work? What if I decide to work? Because I'm going to give you a little tip. That's how Arbonne works, right? When we decide to work. We know that it does, and we are ready to lock arms with you on this journey. I'm going to ask you a question, and this question was asked of me 14 and a half years ago. If you keep doing what you're doing, where will you be 5 years from now? And I just want to share something quick from my heart to yours. And then I do encourage you to go back to the person that invited you on this video and literally just say, like, I'm ready to get started. I'm becoming a consultant. This is amazing. Of course I'm going to get.
Just listen to this opportunity call. Be a part of this. And then just say yes. Just be excited about the excitement. Don't do any research. Just say yes and be excited about the excitement.
Started. But I do want to share something from my heart to yours, because I heard this information 14 and a half years ago. I went to the backyard barbecue, you guys, for a cheeseburger. And I left that backyard barbecue with hope, vision. I actually felt, now I heard the averages. I heard go to earnings.com. Nothing was promised to me. Nothing was guaranteed. I'm smart enough to know it was an effort-based business, but I felt invincible. I felt like I could put a cape on and leave that backyard barbecue and fly home. But then you know what happened on my way home? These voices, and they showed up like excuses, but you know what they really were? They were fear disguised as excuses. And it went something like this.
So what if you don't have the money? Is that just being scared? Oh, you're just scared. It's like, no, I really don't have an extra, like any money extra right now. Like all of my money goes into rent. It goes into my car. It goes into food. It goes into my kids. It goes into bills. I have no spare money right now. Okay, you're just scared. You're right. I'm just scared. I should take money away from my children. That's a great idea. I should take money away from food. I should not pay a bill. That sounds great. And then maybe they'll say like, well, you know, open up a credit card. It's like, no, it's like, oh, well, that's where the fear is. You're scared that this isn't going to work. No, I just don't have the money, and you are not going to tell me to open up a credit card.
Like, who's going to join you? Like your babies are all so small. Like maybe do this in 6 months. Maybe do this in a year. You don't have time for this. You can't afford this. You don't know anything about network marketing. You don't know anything about direct selling. You've never sold a thing in your life. You don't even know anything about cosmetics. You've used one color eyeshadow. Do you know that before Arbonne, I didn't know that like you're supposed to put 3 colors of eyeshadow. I put one on my whole eye. Okay. One.
There's no rules to makeup. Like maybe you should do like, you know, certain colors and smoke it out and do whatever, but there's no rules. If you want to wear one color of eyeshadow, you can wear one color of eyeshadow. Sometimes I wear one color of eyeshadow and I'm like, that looks good. I like how that looks. There's no rules. It doesn't matter.
Really keep these things real. And so there was all these voices in my head. And then I went home and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's too good to be true. You guys, how many times as a child, you ask a child what they want to be in life and they're like a dancer, an NFL player, a singer, a rock star, a superstar. And then all of a sudden we grow up, we become adults, and then we take our dreams and we put them in this tiny little box and we end up living a life. I didn't have a bad life before Arbonne.
Being a dancer or an NFL player is totally different than wanting to recruit friends and family.
But I wasn't tapping into my potential. I wasn't living a life of limitless possibilities. I wasn't challenging myself every day. I wasn't encouraging others to be more. I wasn't doing more. I wasn't stretching. I wasn't stepping out of my comfort zone. I wasn't setting goals. I didn't have a fire inside my belly. We have one life and we have no dress rehearsal. And so even though I had all these fears, what if this, what if you failed? But what if you fly? What if you step into your power and you committed to this? What if you didn't just give it a whirl? What if you didn't give it a try? What if you committed to this business and you gave it everything you had for you and your family to have a better life, a better life? And so you guys, I woke up the next morning, a couple things popped in my head. Number one, I remembered that there are 2 types of opportunities, those that are seized and those that are missed. I wasn't missing this for me and my family. I also knew something else. The right time doesn't exist. How many times like the right time? Like when's that going to be? Okay. Like I have 4 children. I have a very busy life, very busy life. In fact, right now I have so many dishes in the sink. You might be able to pile up on them and climb up a tree. Okay. I have a lot going on professionally, personally. And so I have a very hectic life. The right time is never going to appear, but leaders create the right time. I was also reminded the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I wanted more. I wanted more. And hearing the Arbonne opportunity unlocked something inside of my soul that I could be more. And so I picked up the phone and I called that stranger that shared Arbonne with me. And I said, sign me up. Sign me up right now, because if I wait one more day, I'm going to talk myself out of this. And so I encourage you to join us. I encourage you to take a blind leap of faith. This company has been in business for 40 years. And this is what I could tell you when I joined Arbonne. I saw something really special and really unique. Arbonne was not waiting for, and I'm saying this with so much love, it's not waiting for you either. So pick up that phone, let the consultant know you're ready to get started, and thank you for taking the time out of your night to join us this evening. Good night.
Bye, Arbonne lady. Whoa, that was... Woo! What is with everyone in MLMs and who are mainly at the top, they just turn into motivational speakers. Their job is to be a motivational speaker and to get you to join. It wasn't even like, you know, maybe you haven't experienced the products. I'd love for you to try the products and see how they are, see if they're a fit for you, see if you like them, see if it's something that would work. No, it just blindly join. Trust me, you won't regret it, but you have to put in work. You have to keep trying. It's like, join because it will work for you, even though it's not typical and it probably will not work for you, but join because I thought that it wouldn't work for me, but it did because I joined 14 years ago. Yeah, before the internet was really as big of a thing as it is. Yes, Arbonne's been around for 40 years, but I don't think it's been an MLM the entire time. Could be wrong about that. But just this whole blindly, you're here because you're meant to be here. You're here because you're supposed to say yes. If you don't say yes, then you're passing up on the greatest opportunity that could ever happen. But I promise, a week from now, 3 months from now, someone else in some different MLM, if you're in the right Facebook group, will offer you the exact opportunity. Alright, you guys, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. And if you really, really, really liked it, hit that notification bell. Let's talk all things Arbonne in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!